Hello everyone, welcome to Krishna's online lectures. In this video of engineering mechanics, I am going to discuss the concepts of kinematics of motion. So let's start the lesson. So here, before going to discuss about kinematics of motion, first I'll discuss about motion. What is motion? So motion I have discussed earlier also. So it is generally defined as the relative change in the position of the body. If any body is changing its position with respect to another body, so that body will be in motion. For example, here if we are considering any body which is resting on a floor, this is the stationary body, and this particular body can move after application of external force. So after application of external force, if the body is changing its position from A to B, so here this body is traveling from point A to point B, and here the body A is changing its position with respect to this fixed surface or fixed body. So here this particular body we will consider in motion with respect to this fixed body or fixed surface. So when any body is changing its position with respect to another body, or relative change in the position of the body is defined as the motion. Now, motion we can define as rectilinear motion and curvilinear motion. Rectilinear motion is defined when any body is moving along a straight line, or if we are considering straight line motion. So, it is called rectilinear motion. So, rectilinear motion is defined as the straight line motion. So, here this particular diagram is representing straight line motion. Here, if we have 2 points and one body is moving from point A to B along a straight line, or from B to A also along a straight line. So this particular motion is called rectilinear motion, and path followed by this body is called trajectory. So whatever path this body is following, it is called trajectory. So it can be curve. So that can be defined as a curvilinear motion. So curvilinear motion we define the motion of the body along the curve. So here second diagram is representing the curvilinear motion. If any particular body is moving along a curve, so this particular motion followed by body is called curvilinear motion, and this path which is followed by the body is called trajectory also. So either it is straight line motion or it is curvilinear motion. The path followed by body is always called trajectory. Now, curvilinear motion is divided into two parts. One is plane curvilinear motion. So, plane curvilinear motion we can define when body is moving along the curved path, and that curved path lies in a plane. In a particular plane, if that curved path is lying, and that curved path can have multiple radius like this. So here first body will move along this particular path which is having different radius, then it will move along another path which is having different radius, and center of these curves can also be different. So this is called plane curvilinear motion. Now second curvilinear motion is defined as the rotation. So if body or particle of the body are moving in a centric circle we generally define when there is a circle which is having a single center. For circle, we defined a constant center or one center O only. And if that body is following the curve of this circle, or if the body is following along the periphery of the circle, and center of this curve does not changing, if the radius is constant or diameter is constant, as well as the center is at the position, this particular center is not changing its position, or center for the curve is not changing, so that particular motion is called rotation. So simply along the circle if we are considering motion, so it is called the rotation. So particle of the body moving in a centric circle are under the rotation, and this path is also called trajectory. So this is about the motion. Now let's discuss about dynamics. So here kinematics is the part of dynamics. Here we are considering body is in motion. There are two states we consider. One is the static and another is the dynamic. So static is related to when the body is in rest condition or when the body is in equilibrium condition. So body does not change its position with respect to other body. So that is called static. And we will study the behavior of the body in this particular condition only. But when the body is in motion, when body is changing its position with respect to another body, so that body is under the dynamic condition. Now this dynamic is divided into two parts. One is the kinematics and another is the kinetics. So kinematics and kinetics, we both terms are considered under the dynamic condition or when the body is in motion. So if we define kinematics, so kinematics is generally defining the description of motion of any particular body without considering causes of motion. What is the main cause of motion? If any body is in stable condition and if it is resting on the floor, so first force which is acting on this particular body, we will consider weight. But because of weight, the body will move downward. And opposite to this weight, we will consider reaction to get the equilibrium condition of the body. Now, this particular weight and reaction we consider as the internal force. This is not external force. So, external force is the main cause which is responsible for the motion of the body. When we apply external force, in that condition only, body will move. So, here causes of motion is means the forces, and there are lot many other causes of motion we consider like momentum, etc., work. So here, if we are defining the motion of the body or if we are describing the actual motion of the body without considering the causes of motion, so that particular motion is under the kinematics. For example, here we will describe the behavior of the body or motion of the body in terms of velocity, in terms of acceleration, in terms of displacement, etc. So these terms are representing the kinematic conditions of the body or kinematic motion of the body. Now here, second term is kinetics. So kinetics is also related to dynamics when body is in motion. But how this particular term is different from kinematics? So here we will simply defining the behavior of the body or we will describing the motion of the body, but here we will consider causes of motion. So what is the main cause of motion? Force, obviously. So here causes of motion we will define in terms of force, in terms of momentum, in terms of work, etc. Kinetic energy, potential energy, there are lot many terms which we consider as the causes of motion. So in kinetics, we will define the behavior of the body or motion of the body in terms of force, in terms of momentum, in terms of work, etc. So this is the basic difference between kinematics and kinetics. Kinetics is when we are giving the description of motion of the body with causes of motion. So it is called kinetics. And kinematics when we are defining or we are describing the motion of the body without causes of motion. For example, velocity, acceleration, and displacement. So in this particular lesson, I am going to concentrate on kinematics of motion. Body will be in motion. Only these terms we will consider which are responsible for the motion or which are defining the actual condition or actual position of the body. So let's discuss kinematics of motion. So kinematics of motion we can define when any body is changing its position with respect to other body without considering causes of motion is called kinematics of motion. And in kinematics of motion we will study about these two terms. One is the rectilinear motion and another is the curvilinear motion. So we will define the kinematics of motion when body is moving along a straight line path. Second, curvilinear motion when body is moving along a curved path. So these two types of motion we will discuss in kinematics of motion. So let's discuss the basic terms which is related to kinematics of motion. So first term is displacement. So displacement is related to distance traveled by the body. So displacement we generally define when body is changing its position with respect to one fixed reference point, or we can also define as change of position of particles of the body or particles with respect to fixed reference point. It is called the displacement. Distance we can also define by the same way. If any particular particle or any body is changing its position with respect to fixed reference point, so this is also called distance. But the basic difference between distance and displacement is distance is always considered as a scalar quantity, because here we only define magnitude. Distance is defined by the magnitude only, but displacement is considered as a vector quantity. So it is defined by the magnitude and direction both. So displacement we can define as, for example, here you can see this diagram. So here we have 2 points A and B. So at initial position, let us consider body is resting at this particular position, point A. Now after application of force, here we will not consider any causes of motion, but the body is in motion only. So when the body is moving its position with respect to one reference point or one fixed point in a particular direction. So here from point A, this body is trying to move and the body is reaching this another position, point B. And here you can see this curved path. So first path we are considering as a curved path. So this particular curved path is followed by the body to reach this point B. So from point A to point B, this curved path is representing the total distance traveled by the body. This particular path is representing the total distance traveled by the body. But if we see, this particular body can also reach body B or the point B by following a straight line motion. So displacement is represented as the shortest distance or shortest path traveled by the body. So from point A to B, the shortest distance we generally consider as the displacement. So this is the basic difference between distance and displacement. Distance is the actual path traveled by the body and displacement is the shortest path traveled by the body. Unit will be same for both the term distance and displacement, but in particular distance we only consider magnitude, but in displacement we define magnitude and direction both. So it is termed as the vector quantity. So unit we can define along the length or according to length. So unit can be meter or it can be mm or it can be centimeter or it can be kilometer, whatever it is. So these terms are representing the unit of displacement. Now here, as I told you, change of position of particle with respect to fixed reference point. So here we have to consider one fixed reference point. About that particular point the body is going to move. So with respect to this reference point, here if we are considering this reference point O, so with respect to this reference point the body will move in a particular direction. So it can be move in forward direction or it can be move in backward direction. So in whatever direction the body is moving, we can define the distance and displacement according to this reference point. So here, if the body is moving forward or in right direction from the reference point, so displacement we will consider positive. But when the body is moving in backward direction from the reference point or in left direction from the reference point, so displacement we will consider negative. So by this way, we can define the sign convention for the displacement. Now let us see here if we are considering one reference point O. First, body is placed at this particular reference point O. Now from this reference point O, if body is traveling toward this point A, another point we are considering, that is point A. So this body is moving in a forward direction. O we are considering as reference point. So with respect to reference point, we have to define the displacement. Now from this reference point, the body is moving in right direction or in forward direction. So this particular distance we will consider as positive. So this distance we are considering as x1. So O to A, the total distance traveled by the body is x1. Now if we have to reach this point B, which is placed in backward direction of reference point O. So final condition or final position where we have to reach or where this body have to reach, it is B. So what is the actual path of the body? Here I am going to tell you. First, the body is going from O to A, then it is coming back from A to O, and after that from point O to B, it is moving in backward direction. So the actual path traveled by the body is defined as the distance. So the total distance will be, first it is moving forward, so it will be positive, and then it is moving backward from A to O, but still it is at the right side of the reference point. So backward motion we also consider as positive. So the total distance will be x1 plus x1 up to point O. Now from point O, the body is moving toward point B. So here the sign convention for the displacement we will consider as minus. Now from point O to B, let us consider distance x2. So the distance from O to B is defined by minus x2. So the total distance traveled by the body from O to B is x1 plus x1 minus x2. So it will be 2x1 minus x2. Now we talk about displacement. So displacement we consider as the shortest distance traveled by the body from the reference point. So shortest distance is what? From O to B. This total distance is representing the shortest distance. So here displacement of the body we will define as minus x2. So here I hope you understand the concept of displacement of body and distance traveled by the body, and the concept of reference point and sign convention of the displacement. So displacement we define as the change in position of the body with respect to fixed reference point. It is a vector quantity and unit we consider as mm, meter, centimeter, etc. Now let's move toward another term, that is velocity. So velocity we can define in terms of speed, but there is a basic difference between speed and velocity also. So where there is a motion happen, we will consider speed as well as velocity. So velocity we can define as the change in position of the body with respect to time. If any particular body is changing its position from one point to another point with respect to time, so it is called velocity. And speed we also consider change in position of the body with respect to time. But the basic difference between velocity and speed is velocity we consider as the vector quantity. So we will define the velocity in terms of magnitude as well as in direction. Where direction involved, it is defining the vector quantity. So velocity is defined with the help of magnitude as well as the direction. So it is representing the vector quantity. Now if we talk about speed, so rate of change of position of the body with respect to time, it is called speed. But speed is a scalar quantity. So it is defined by the magnitude. So whatever path followed by the body, it is not defined by the direction. It is only defined by the magnitude. So if we talk about the unit of the velocity, so it is represented as change in position of the body with respect to time. So here if we consider change in position of the body from one point to another point is x, and it is taking time t to travel this x distance. So it will be defined as x by t. So it is defined by meter per second. Unit can be defined as meter per second or centimeter per second. Now let's see one diagram here. Let us consider one reference point O, and this is the starting point of the body to travel. So first body is placed on this particular reference point O. Now here let us consider another point A which is situated at x distance from point O. So first body will move in a particular direction, in this particular direction, and it will travel x distance, and the time taken by the body is t seconds. So initial velocity of the body to reach this point A is x by t, or it is traveling x distance or x displacement we are considering with respect to time t. Now here if we are considering another position, that is from point A to B. So when the body is traveling from point A to B, so it is traveling distance delta x. Let us consider distance between these 2 points is delta x. And the time taken by the body to travel this distance delta x is delta t. So initial position is O and the final position of the body is B. So the total distance traveled by the body is x plus delta x. And the total time taken by the body is t plus delta t. So if we talk about the relative velocity, so relative velocity we define as the final velocity minus initial velocity. So average velocity or relative velocity we can define with the help of these two terms. Initial velocity we are considering as x by t, and the final velocity we are considering as x plus delta x by t plus delta t. Now here total time is t plus delta t. Now if we define the relative velocity, or it can be considered as average velocity, so the final displacement which is traveled by the body is x plus delta x, and initial displacement traveled by the body is x divided by t plus delta t. This is the final time minus t according to relative position or relative velocity we can define. So this will be equivalent to delta x by delta t. This and this term will be cancelled out. This and this term will be cancelled out. So V average we can define as delta x by delta t. So with the help of this concept, we can define as rate of change of position of the body with respect to time is called velocity. Now this is about the motion. Now if we talk about the instantaneous velocity is defined the velocity at a particular instant of time. So for example, if we are considering at this particular point or at this particular point or at this particular point in between. So at that point, if we want to define the velocity of the body or particle, so it is defined in terms of instantaneous velocity. So at the time of instantaneous velocity, when we are defining this instantaneous velocity, the value of average velocity is very less, or the displacement traveled by the body is very less, and the time taken by the body is very less. So in that case, we can define this particular term with the help of limits. So instantaneous velocity we can define as limit t to 0 del x by delta t. So this is about the instantaneous velocity. Now let's see third term, that is called acceleration. So acceleration we can define as rate of change of velocity of the particle with respect to time. Now here we will use velocity of the particle or velocity of the body. So it is defined as rate of change of velocity of particle with respect to time. And this is also a vector quantity because here we are using term velocity. So it will be defined by the magnitude and direction both. So here we want to define the acceleration. So we will see here one more diagram. So O is the reference point. And if we want to define the acceleration or the average acceleration in terms of relative acceleration, so first the body is placed at this particular position O. Now here the first point which the body has to reach is point A, and from point O to A the body is traveling with velocity V. Now from point A the body is moving towards another point, that is B, and the velocity of the body we are considering to reach this point B from point A is delta V. Now the time taken by the body to reach position A from point O is t. Now from point A to B, if the body is taking time delta t. So here we can define the average acceleration or relative acceleration in terms of final acceleration minus initial acceleration. So it is defined as v plus delta v minus v by t plus delta t minus t. So the final acceleration we will consider as v plus delta v by t plus delta t, because final velocity we are considering as v plus delta v to reach the position B from point A. This is our initial position and this is our final position. So final velocity will be v plus delta v and initial velocity is v, because body is going to start with velocity v from point O. Now the final time which we are considering, that is t plus delta t, and initial time which is taken by the body to travel from point O to A is t. So average acceleration will be v plus delta v minus v by t plus delta t minus t, that is equals to delta v by delta t. So this is representing the actual rate of change of velocity of particle with respect to time. Now with this we can define the unit of acceleration. So unit of acceleration we can define as meter per second square. Velocity we consider as meter per second, and this time we defined in second. So it will be meter per second square. So by this way we can define acceleration. In terms of gravitational acceleration, we can also define the same unit, meter per second square. So here this is the basic description of acceleration. Now here, if we are considering reference point O, and the body is moving in a particular direction, so how we can define the positive acceleration and negative acceleration? So positive acceleration is called acceleration, and how it comes? When velocity of the body is increasing. If the body's velocity is continuously increasing, in that case acceleration we will consider positive acceleration. But when the velocity is decreasing from the initial condition, for example here if we have velocity v meter per second, and when the body is traveling in a particular direction and it is moving with reduced velocity, if the velocity is reducing from v meter per second, so that particular acceleration is called negative acceleration. So where the velocity is increasing, in that condition we will consider acceleration. But when the velocity is decreasing, in that condition we will consider retardation. This is called negative acceleration. So this is the difference between acceleration and retardation. Acceleration, velocity is increasing. Retardation, velocity is decreasing. Now another point, this is very important point. When body is moving with constant velocity, if velocity is constant throughout the path or for complete time from initial to final position, in that condition if we apply this particular value, so here change in velocity with respect to time will be 0 because this velocity is constant. So when the velocity is constant, it is called uniform motion, and acceleration we can define as 0. So for uniform motion, acceleration value or it should be 0. Now when the body is moving with constant acceleration, if acceleration is constant, v is changing, time is changing, but acceleration is constant, so motion is defined as uniformly accelerated motion. So this is all about the acceleration. So I hope you understand the concept of kinematics of motion, velocity, acceleration and displacement. Thank you so much for watching this video. You can rate, review and share this lesson with your friends and your known people. And if you want to watch more lessons related to mechanical engineering, please subscribe the channel.